Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. The boys are here. The boys are here. Another sports episode. I want to first and foremost shout out everybody that's been tapping in with us. We've been seeing the love that y'all been giving us on TikTok and Instagram. The two homies in here have been going crazy. I see y'all. We gonna possibly address who was wrong and who was right on that AJ Brown situation, but we gonna get straight into another episode of Keep It Clean Sports Show. Right? I got the homie Abe. I got the homie Jamel, aka the Mailman. Pretty much, we waiting for you to give us a nickname, Abe. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Can you match the Mailman? Do you have something?
I don't really want to be associated with the mailman. Like someone
Great
here,
rebuttal.
but
Love
yeah,
that.
we got
Great
to find a
rebuttal.
different
Out the
nickname,
gate.
somewhere in the lane where we don't rub any side any type of way. You know what I mean?
Out the gate with a great rebuttal. I love that. How do you feel about that,
I,
Jamel?
I think that we should all have like service names. Like, yeah, you could be the drill sergeant because the voice is the voice, and you could be I don't
I hear
know
hate.
what would you be good at.
I hear hate. I hear hate.
The tra-
I hear hate in your soul.
I was gonna say the trash man because of your takes, but
Oh wow, you see this?
you're my guy. I'm
I hear
believing
hate.
in
It was bubbling in his soul. You could feel it. You could feel it. You know what? I'm gonna make it simple. Since we already here, man, we getting straight into it. The boys don't know about this. We playing another week of If It Was You. So let me give you all the premise for this week. Y'all are the NFL. If it was you, how you judging this? And give me your playback. Give me your second by second on how you want to go about this situation, right?
Am I Juju?
You the NFL judging Juju. How do you feel about it?
I mean, from the consensus that everybody's been telling us, Juju deserves this for some reason. We've all seen the plays that Branch was referring to. We've seen some little stuff that he's done, the dancing on the field and spiking the balls and doing all that. We've seen him do some wild stuff, but just straight jumping him after the game, I don't know. I think there's a better situation that you can, put yourself in for that. If I'm the NFL, the Detroit Lions are already handling it. They took him off for a game without pay and basically told him, don't bring that stuff around here. I think that's the best in-house that you're going to get. I don't think the NFL needs to do anything else.
Okay. Jamel?
I would suspend both of them because, like Abe said, we saw the video. We know what happened to Brian Branch. We know that Schuster pushed him in the back and pushed him on the ground. So, and NFL players always talk about the plays in between the plays. But when you have video evidence of what happened previously, what actually initiated it, I think both of them should be suspended. And if the team took care of it, cool. Team, you got it. Not a problem. But the other team doesn't, cool. We're going to suspend your guy too. And call it a day. All right? You got both culprits. Because even though it was retaliatory, you can't embarrass the Shield like that. Not the NFL. Right. So both of them get a game.
I love the peace talks. If I'm the NFL, I'm only suspending Juju. First of all, you let this man just come up over here with the lightest. Look at that meat. Now, look at that. You see that? Right? This man walked up to you. You knew what time it was. Right? And he put a hand on your face. You're going to fall on the ground and act soft. That's what bothers me. Watch this. Get over here. Now you're going to fall. And then you see someone pushing them back. Now you're going, what is this little shoulder bump chest thing? Now look at you, helmetless on the ground. How did your helmet come off? He slapped you in your helmet. You fell down. And somehow you ended up in the bottom of the scrum. And the suspended photo, I'm sure y'all saw it, where they posted on social media of Deion Branch being suspended. But him over like this, that's an album cover. 2 points for you, Branch.
That's the sneak diss record, for sure.
Hey, 2 points, just like this, man. Because of the fact that Juju is getting suspended, as far as I'm concerned, just for the fact that you waited for somebody to do some protection before you ran up and you missed. You had a free shot. To run down on them. You push your own mans in the back, man. And now everybody as we've already been saying, they said he deserved it. That's why I feel like even the Lions were like, yeah, we giving you a game because we have to. Because we can't
That's
not
the
give you a
standard.
game.
No. Hold
No,
on. Campbell done set the standard. He said it at the press conference. He gonna make sure he keep his house in check. You ain't got to do that for him.
Look. This is a team that goes for it on fourth down regularly. They go for it all the time. They hungry. You got to find out. Because the part that I think some people may miss, a crack block, especially in the back, is anything that happens when someone hits you from a is okay. Come on, man. That's no different than you going up for a layup in basketball and they push you in the air in the back, two-hand push in the back,
undercut you.
Yeah,
cowardly.
That's egregious.
Cowardly. All right.
Yeah.
So now it's like when you watch that play back, I completely understand why he bypassed Pat. Hey, man, I'm not trying to talk to you. I'm trying to talk to that. I'm trying to talk to that man right there. Boy, man, come on, dog. You a full-grown man. I will never get over this. I'm gonna make a gif out of this, dog.
So clearly in David's NFL, he's not worried about the product at that time. He's worried about the reputation of how you look by letting another man just come overhand slap you in the face. So yeah.
It wasn't you watched him. Come on, man. We done been in situations. Before we even started this pod, we were discussing a scenario where a fight almost happened. You know what you did. You watched him bypass your man's, didn't shake his hand. He didn't even look at him, and he walked to you. What did you think was going? Like, now you smiling. He palmed you.
Yes.
He palmed you, put you on the ground. And if nobody was there, he would have laid on the ground. Because we know Juju. We know Juju. He would have laid on the ground.
You and I both know, like, if you out and about and somebody muff you in the face, that's like straight disrespect. You don't care about me or nothing. You gonna muff me in my face. So he like, I get where you coming from. Don't get me wrong. But as the actual NFL, the only thing they care about is how the product looks.
In reality?
Yeah. In David's world, I get it. In the actual NFL, they actually care about that. So, but I will say this, though. I will say this. We need to talk about that there was no flags for the Kansas City Chiefs the entire game. And then Juju gets away with something like this. I don't think it needs to be Juju who gets a suspension. I think the whole Kansas City Chiefs team needs a suspension for a game because this don't make no sense, man. I know how bad they want them to succeed because they're good for TV. They're good for football. I get the product. We talk about the shield all the time. But not a single flag, not one. Come on, man.
Hey, man,
they played a perfect game.
We gonna touch on that.
Ugh.
All right. Now we gonna get to that because you know sometimes people don't see perfection.
Right.
Sometimes perfection is so hard to obtain, right? But we gonna touch back on that for the NFL piece. Y'all want to run us down really quick for college, right? I don't see Jamel. I see you have a collar shirt on, but I notice it's not blue. You want to just get it away, like your coach said. We wear blue collars. I just want
you
y'all
going to interview for the job. You ain't here. He going to interview for the job. He getting ready for it right now. Yeah, man.
We wear blue collars, and
look, he suited and booted.
The group chat was quiet Saturday, y'all.
Oh my God.
So y'all give me a rundown, man. I'm gonna go ahead, let y'all get it off your chest early. No slander coming from me. I didn't get a chance to watch the game. You took your L. Y'all was quiet Saturday. I didn't want to bother nobody. I asked y'all one time to live stream a game, and y'all told me how y'all feel about the big game and what y'all turned into. Clearly, by that silence I saw Saturday, I believe you. I believe you. I put my phone down. I don't know smoke.
First of all, at least one would put their phone down because the other one didn't. I find your father to be extremely disrespectful, especially on a day of mourning. All right, let him know I was wearing. blue and maize, and I had to change into black and blue to mourn my team, right? But I don't even want to talk about that. Let's talk about how Indiana. Did I call that or what? Indiana went into Oregon. You're not a Big Ten team, fellas. What are y'all doing? Stay on the West Coast, right? And then they swapped rankings. Actually, Oregon didn't go to 7th; they went to 8th. Indiana's currently 3rd. The highest
Indiana 3rd. We just have to take a second for that one. Indiana 3rd is crazy.
Highest they've ever been in school history.
Yeah.
3rd. Texas over Oklahoma. Is that an upset when they start off the year number 1? Arch Manning being a 5-star a player. Is that really an upset? I don't know. Oklahoma's currently number 6, but if you think
Oklahoma,
about
we can't hate. Come on, like we do have to be. Let me be fair this time, since I know y'all don't want to give him credit. In fairness, Oklahoma is ranked. In fairness, we also spoke about Arch Manning. They went in there because they had nothing to lose, right? It can't get any worse. You already done lost twice, so you just got to play with house money. You got to play with house money, and you did kind of dominate them boys.
Can I say real quick? OU is kind of going through some turmoil because their quarterback has been hurt the last couple of weeks. They've been having some issues with the team trying to gel while he's been out. He tried to come out and do his thing. You could tell he wasn't 100%. You could obviously tell that this was a team that is heavy reliant on him and his hero ball. And without him being 100%, they weren't able to play the ball that they normally were playing beforehand. That's all I had to say about OU.
That's what I was going to say about OU.
Archie is a Manning. They're not dealing with 100% up here to begin with. I don't know if we could give excuses. He is a Manning. There's some space. You know, two separate handicaps.
I'm not hating on Manning. I'm not hating on him. I still think he has the potential to be a great player. That's Jamel. I still think he has potential to be a great player. I just think again, what I've talked about with expectation, this is his first year starting as a quarterback for the Texas University. So it's not like he's had all this time. He's played games here or there when Eros was messing up, or they were up a lot, or they wanted to throw him in because they wanted to run the ball. This is his first year as a quarterback with the helm. You got to give him that time to develop. That's all I'm saying.
Fair. No love, Jamel.
One uncle's in the Hall of Fame. The other one's going to the Hall of Fame. My grandpappy's in the Hall of Fame.
That don't mean
I've been growing underneath them my whole life. This is my 2nd year in Texas, 3rd year in Texas. I don't even know how many years he's been there now. But even though he's first year starting, he's played. So it's not like he's never been in the big lights. Oh my goodness, no! I give him 0 excuses, and you should too. Shame on you.
No, I'm not giving him any excuses. I'm just saying the proper expectations for what it is, and I'm also saying that just because all his grandpappy and everybody else went to the Hall of Fame, don't mean he's supposed to be it. Marcus Jordan and them boys didn't do nothing for Michael Jordan, so I don't want to hear
the name of Michael Jordan ever.
Hey, listen, I'm just saying. There's been some kids that ain't panned out the way that we're supposed to be. Okay,
absolutely, but Marcus wasn't considered the next coming. Arch Manning was. Arch Manning was schooled and tutored,
man. Yeah, let Marcus do his coke in peace.
My bad.
let him do his booger sugar in
I'm
peace,
saying my bad because I wasn't trying to take a shot at him, and here you go.
It feels like you did.
No, that's not. Why would I do that? For what?
Because it's anti-me day. I'm about to troll for sympathy right now.
Look, man, he gonna hear this clip and you gonna make him sniff in other ways. It's gonna be from tears instead of the usual, bro. Why'd you do that, man?
See, Marcus, I ain't got nothing to do with this, baby. That ain't me.
Okay, so we got. Are you
Alabama.
telling me that you're not? Hey, there we go. That's what I was bringing up. Talk to me.
Alabama skated by Missouri, and when I say skated, I mean skated. Them boys barely ran up out of there with a dub, and that needs to be noted again. Because every single time they start giving this hoopla to Alabama, they mess around and win these games by nothing, and then they want to give an excuse later on. I'm tired of it. We get the scrutiny on one side, but then Over here, we're just giving them a pass because it's Alabama. I'm not cool with that.
Whether they skated by or not, they beat an undefeated 14th ranked Mizzou. Let's not act like that. It's just some bottom end SEC team. They're 14th ranked and they were undefeated. So that's
Alabama,
about what the score should have been. Yeah,
Alabama.
Alabama.
As far as we talk about and give credit for Alabama, should be smoking teams. Not beating them by 3, smoking teams. So when you have to throw the Hail Mary so that way you can get the dub at the last second, I don't want to hear that. If you're Alabama with the pedigree that we talk about up in here, I need to see it.
I feel the same way about Arch Manning.
But are
he
we
came in, he should be smoking teams. He has everything set up around him. He should be smoking teams. I feel the same way.
You gotta let that Texas hate go. You gotta figure out what to do with that Texas hate. Y'all beat them. You don't even owe no slander to them. Did Michigan beat Texas?
Yeah.
I forget.
Let that go. But to your Alabama point, are we carrying the expectations for Bama into the season from past what they are? Because to your Arch Manning point, is essentially what the second year without Saban. So you're walking in with a legacy that's not really yours. You might have had some plays that weren't fully yours. Is that fair to place that on them? Because everybody else is dealing with, at least most of the other SEC teams, most of what you see in hell, even the Big Ten, they're coming in with coaches that are familiar 3, 4, 5 years at this particular school, except for LSU. I think LSU has a new coach. Is that fair?
You see my head, right? I'm shaking it. Yes, I still have that expectation. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason why I still have that expectation is because when you have teams like we talked about with Michigan, where they always have to come in and show the respect that they are supposed to be given because they have to give it on the field, right? But then a team like Alabama, they'll just stamp them third to start the season, and they'll have a halfway decent recruitment class. And then you talk about all the players that they have already on their roster, all the players that they're recruiting are coming in, and then whenever they skate by a win, it's, oh man, look how great Alabama was today. No, I'm not giving Bama a skate for nothing. Like I'm tired of just the the love that they get just off the bat. I understand they got the team, they have the pedigree from the past, they have the facilities, they've got the money. I understand that. So if you have all of these things and you only put out this product, yeah, I got a problem.
Alabama has set a standard under Nick Saban. They set a standard that it's hard for anyone to emulate, including themselves. So they're still they're still held on this pedestal.
Right.
Typically, they are given somewhere between 1 and 5 at the beginning of each season, but you should expect a team to slow down or take a step back when you get a new head coach. You know, he's got to get his system in place. Even in college now, he's got to get his players in place who he wants. And Nick Saban left him. I mean, the cupboard wasn't bare. Nick Saban left him with players, but he still wants to bring in his own people. So, yeah, I mean,
so you give them a step back, but
in between at the same time, they're fairly consistent. Of course. You change your head coach like Sherrone Moore. Are you expecting him to be Jim Harbaugh right away?
No, but I didn't. We also weren't past down Alabama. Like we're talking about Michigan is still a historic team. We still had good players, and then half of our roster left because we won a championship.
And guess what? You still have the other half, and you backfill it. But a lot of, as a matter of fact, I think Alabama had the most players go to the NFL when Nick Saban left. So he's got to backfill that also.
Okay, so we're talking about what the players that Michigan can get, and then the players that Alabama can get.
Whose fault is that?
What do you mean? I'm not blaming that on a fault. I'm just saying if you
Nick
get
Saban,
these players and you only produce half a product, then I'm going to have a harsher critic on you.
Nick Saban was bringing up, just by name alone.
Nick Saban, I understand, was a great coach. Players. He's not the University of Alabama.
I didn't say anything about coaching. I said he was bringing them in. So that's recruiting. Nick Saban was bringing them in.
I get it, but it's still Alabama, even after Nick Saban left.
But that's the whole thing. Nick Saban's gone. So everything checked. You're saying even after Nick Saban left, like he was a small piece. No, he was the biggest piece.
I understand
He's the
people went there
greatest college
because
coach
of Nick
ever.
Saban.
And
I
then he
get that.
retired.
I get that.
Yes, this is a big piece. So
But
yes,
I'm
I
saying,
do give
Okay,
him some
so
grace.
let me add this. Let me add this to what y'all are saying because I think the points that y'all are making, both y'all actually go both ways. Because to what Abe is saying, Nick Saban, or to what Jamel said, Nick Saban was a big piece. Is that not the same to what a point is that Jim Harbaugh left? So that left with a lot of the recruiting piece, and
So
you gotta allow that space to grow. So now with
well,
Alabama
let's go
being
back to Nick's point. It's Nick Saban and it's Jim Harbaugh. Who had a bigger impact?
Saban.
Saban. So Jim Harbaugh,
Fair.
you like, yeah, he's a great recruiter. He's a great coach. I love Jim Harbaugh. I wish he stayed in Michigan. But with him being gone, not the same impact as Nick Saban.
I get it.
Anyway, not the same impact.
I get it. All I'm saying is I feel my university is bigger than one coach. That's all I'm saying. So if I have that statement going into it, I've got to ride that on both sides. So
If
my
we got
statement
if we
is
got 20 years of Jim Harbaugh and when he brought us 5, 6, 7 championships, I think it would be different.
I get what you're saying. I get
All right,
what you're
Jimmy,
saying.
you bigger than Michigan, Jimmy. It'd be like a
but
gangster movie. You
I
bigger
get
than
what
Jimmy.
you. Okay, but we had Carr, we had all these other different coaches that we loved in the time. I mean, we're the winningest program in all of college football. That doesn't come from just one coach in 20 years. That comes from accumulation of coaches. That comes from accumulation of players. We've had
Really?
Heisman Trophy winners. We've had national
Our
championships.
came under
But
three
I'm
coaches.
talking. I understand that, but can you hear what I'm saying? It's bigger than just one coach. The whole name of Michigan is bigger than just Jim Harbaugh. I understand that when you have Jim Harbaugh, you get better recruitment because players want to come play for an ex-NFL coach. They want to get their exposure. They want to see the next step so they can make their progression. I'm saying it's still the University of Michigan that attracts them, and then the coach, and then the team, and then the players and everything else. When you have that M on your shirt, when you walk around saying, yeah, I'm being recruited by Michigan, it's not, yeah, I'm being recruited by Jim Harbaugh. It's, I'm being recruited by Michigan, or I'm being recruited by Alabama. That's the thing and the niche that the kids love to talk about when they walk around. Why? Do we know? Because we did it. So if I'm sitting here looking at the situation,
I'm not gonna lie. I tried to give y'all an out, but we've been on Michigan for a decent minute, so it do kind of sound like hate for the fact y'all lost at this point, bro. Like, so now we have to address it. I tried to give y'all an out, and here we are, bro. What happened?
I just know when I was younger, Bo Schembechler was bigger than Michigan. And when Bo Schembechler retired as the Michigan head coach, he took over as the AD. And he even hired, I forgot who the coach for the basketball team was, but he brought in John Beilein because he told that coach, I want a Michigan man there. He was bigger than Michigan when he was there.
Okay. Fair. And to David's point, I'm not addressing it. We don't need it. We don't need to talk about it. It happened. Okay, we just move on through the segment.
You know, because okay, y'all don't have to address it, but we are the Keep Clean podcast. We do have to do our spot corrections. There was a lot of talk on this very platform about how USC and them didn't deserve to be in the Big Ten. Didn't deserve to be there. They was wearing the patch ahead of time before they were even in the conference, and then unranked as they were. What happened? What happened? I'm looking at it, man. We got to have the conversation, not the silence, not the group chat all over again. I feel lonely.
Look, man. Look, I'll just speak up. All right, it wasn't a great game. There was a lot of bad offensive pieces. I mean, obviously, defense wasn't that great either, but our offense didn't put any points on the board. We had Hayes go out a few times because he got hurt. You're talking about a guy who might be in the conversation for Heisman this year, so he goes out. That's a big piece. Underwood wasn't doing great with the passes, and just weren't finding any connections. USC just made it click when it was meant to be, and it's hard to dig yourself out of a hole when you put yourself in a bad position.
Yeah,
walk-on freshman
Michigan.
gave y'all 158.
Nobody asked that.
A walk-on freshman gave.
Nobody
Okay, you're right.
asked
My bad.
you that information. See, that's that
My
hate.
bad.
That's that hate right
Pardon, so.
there.
Michigan's a young team. We have a young head coach, a young quarterback. We're a young team. So give us 2 years, and we'll be right back knocking at the door again. And I think they can beat Ohio State this year again.
I do agree with that. I do want to make a point as well to the Big Ten credit as well as Michigan. I was noticing it. Y'all have gone through the gauntlet as the Big Ten early in the season, where we're going to see the SEC start to go through that soon, right? So the rankings, after realizing that the rankings, not necessarily a false equivalent, but almost seem like it's a shakeup that's bound to happen, because now a lot of these SEC schools are going to start seeing each other. We're gonna get the Alabama, Georgia that's coming down the pipeline. We're gonna get the Tennessees versus what, like, all of this is getting ready to happen in the very near future, where the Big Ten is going to kind of transition into, we got breather games, if you will. We got a little space to adjust. And with that being said, that's where the struggle kind of exists for me, because to your earlier point a couple of weeks ago, the way that they do treat Michigan, or hell, anyone that's not the SEC, but it seems to happen frequently when the Big Ten loses. The rises and falls. The rise on beating a team barely puts you a couple spots ahead, but you lose and you get completely eliminated. But then on the flip side, like you're saying, that's why I do understand your point. Alabama is skating by a Missouri. Missouri is ranked, yes. Alabama was also expected to be better than what they were as well.
Right.
They let other teams hold on into their ranking categories when you have. Okay, let me get back on my hate train. Notre Dame does not deserve their spot. I don't care what Notre Dame does not deserve their spot. How can Michigan be treated as such, and then Notre Dame has gotten their ass kicked this year? It wasn't just a simple loss. They got their ass kicked, and they're still in the rankings. So I get your frustration, and I will forever remain a Notre Dame hater for college football. And then once we start talking about college basketball, my belt, your ass, coming soon. It's coming. It's coming to you, man. I get your point. But to what I'm saying is, like, okay, the ACC kind of fell apart other than Miami. Florida State's going to give us upsets, but we're walking into LSU, Vanderbilt this week. We're walking into Oklahoma, South Carolina. I mean, A&M, Arkansas. We're seeing Ole Miss, Georgia, which is going to be a game. Right, the destruction of the SEC is getting started this particular week. So y'all might be able to get some room. Then we're seeing the fraudulency of Notre Dame and USC. They're going to make this a big game, 13 versus 20, whatever. But the SEC they're at each other's throat this week. Do y'all feel that it will level the playing field?
So I think it's one of those things too, where, like, you guys remember like Big East basketball, how it used to be, where their records would be 17 and 13, because it was just, they would have to play each other so often. And it would come down to the end of the season and you would look at their rankings, but they were still like top 15. And you're like, how was that? And you're trying to figure it out. It was because of the level of competition that they played on a consistent basis. And especially when they ended up, going towards the end of the season, going into the conference play. I feel like that's kind of what is going to come down in the last couple games of the season. Because as far as Michigan goes, we should take care of Michigan State. We should beat Purdue. We should beat Northwestern. Like, those are games that we should win, and it shouldn't be a problem. The game that everybody cares about, and we only care about it, is the last. That goes straight into the playoffs, and that shows, like, whether we should be in the top 12 or not. Now, I think it'll level things out as far as, like, being able to say somebody has 3 losses or 4 losses or whatever, and whether they should be in the top 12 or not. But I'm not exactly sure that it's going to be completely level, just for the simple fact that there are going to be some teams down the stretch that are going to have to get pushed out because of those last second losses.
Fair.
And to Jamel's point,
I would
hold it down till the end, because you shouldn't have never lost the game. So no excuses. You should handle your business. Finish your plate. If you don't finish your plate, you get kicked out. That's on your own.
I will say this: not any point in my viewership did I expect to see Texas A&M at number 4 in any of the near future.
No.
Like genuinely did not expect them. And it's almost one of those when you just kind of rolling, and it's like where did you come from? Like when you look back, you've been cruising, you've been speeding a little bit, and you just happen to look in the rearview mirror, and that adrenaline go up because you see the headlights that look like a Charger, and all shit, you start sliding back. Like that's how it feels with A&M. Like where did you come from? Now, do I believe A&M's going to hold that spot? No, it's only a matter of time. But I want to call this. All right, we haven't really done this often. Upset of the week. College football, do y'all? We starting to see some games. Do you have an upset of the week that you might be able to come back and get some credit for? I'm gonna keep a tally. I'm gonna see how successful we are over here.
I think Jamel's call for Oregon losing to Indiana.
Yeah, he
That's
got one.
upset of the week.
He got one.
That's definitely one. Trying to think. That's probably the biggest one for this week.
Remember we talked about FSU being fraudulent, Abe, and we talked about what their schedule was, and Pittsburgh was brought up. So FSU is no longer ranked because they lost to Pittsburgh, unranked Pittsburgh, and a game I guess no one cared about because it's two blah teams. But Utah blew the doors off Arizona State. Utah is currently unranked. Arizona State is 21st. But Utah was ranked as low as 16 at one point.
Right. And they got the number one wide receiver in like college football right now. Right.
Is he? I didn't know that.
He's top 5 at least. He's one of those guys where they talk about him every single week like he's going to be a top 10 pick in the next draft.
Yeah, so it was a pretty good week though. It was a pretty good week of gameplay.
I will branch out on a limb, and I think there's going to be another upset in the Big Ten specifically. I might have Michigan State on some shenanigans beating Indiana.
I don't know
going
about that
into
one.
Indiana, I might have Michigan State beating Indiana because now that Penn State's been moved out the way, usually from my viewership, whenever I see the Big Ten, if it's not Penn State pissing people off, whenever they get to sit down, the honorary member of Michigan State pop out of nowhere and just ruin people's trips for whatever they're doing that college season. So now that Franklin has been fired, Michigan State don't go in there and be like, oh yeah, it's our time.
Doors open. Yeah.
And just ruin somebody's moment. Right, because as much as I would love to say Wisconsin will do it, I look, man, they are moving fluidly up there in Ohio State, and Wisconsin don't have it. They just don't got the juice. Right now, it'd be crazy, but it's not your week. If they were playing Nebraska, I'd be like, maybe, but not Wisconsin. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm going with Michigan State upsetting Indiana.
Okay, so I got two that I want to call. I don't have a 1,000% faith on it, but this is the two that I would want to see on the upset. I've got Arizona State actually getting back on the right track and beating Texas Tech. And then I got Tennessee beating Alabama.
Is that an upset?
Yes, 11-6 is an upset.
It's an upset, though? Like,
it shouldn't be. It should be that they would be going out there in number one every year, but that's not the case. So now that they're 6th and they're playing Tennessee, that's 11th. I see the upset being Tennessee over Alabama.
The way that Jamel hates Texas is the way you hate Alabama. I'm locked in now. I understand. I never knew this about you. I didn't realize Alabama meant this.
Do you remember?
Texas is one step below Ohio State.
Oof. Them are crime words right there.
What did they do?
When I would tell you this real quick, the reason why I have the hate that I do for Alabama is when we were on our run in when we won the national championship, when we were sitting here having a conversation, everybody's like, "Oh man, Michigan cheating, blah 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 blah." Right? Okay, cool. Then they put a team in front of us, and we had to handle our business. And they were like, "Oh well, but you ain't gonna beat Bama." Like, wait till we put Bama, and they messed up the whole rankings and everything. And they know they put them in the position of playoffs because they wanted to prove that the SEC can beat the Big Ten, and it's not even competition. And we swamped them boys. And then we went over and played Washington and won the national championship. So I still have that hate in me from then because I couldn't believe they put them in front of us like this is just the end all be all. We know they're going to murk y'all. Don't even worry about it. Don't even show up. Just stay home. All that. The whole nine. I got people that I know hit me up personally talking that junk. And then we still handled the business, not just barely won. We handled business, and then we went on and win the national chip. So, yes, I still have that hate. I still have that drive. When we talk about Alabama, you're going to hear hate from Abe. That's all I got to say.
I might clip that and put hashtag. Look, what's the opposite of roll tide? Like, what's the horns down of Alabama? You know, I might call a Georgia fan and just be like, yeah. I'm gonna have to call someone from Auburn or Georgia to let me know what that means.
They may not give you the insight on that one, but you know.
Yeah. Jamel, any upsets that you predicted?
I think Vandy is going to be LSU. Like you mentioned earlier, the SEC is going to eat up the SEC. Both of them are ranked. Vandy is 17th, LSU is 10th. Last time I said LSU was going to lose, they lost. This time, I think they're going to lose.
Okay.
And also, I'm taking Arkansas over A&M.
Two. He got two of them.
Yeah.
You know, okay. I don't want to jump on the bandwagon there, but the way that y'all remember when Rose said Texas is on upset alert weekly, that's how I feel about A&M. That's exactly how I feel about A&M.
You're just waiting for them to fumble it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you're riding the wave.
We don't believe you.
Who they played? Who have they? Let me pull up the schedule. Have they played anybody? Yes.
They play Florida. Who do they play? Florida, Mississippi State, Auburn, Notre Dame, Utah State.
They did beat Notre Dame
by a point.
Mm-hmm. That was a good game.
Did they play Florida when Florida was ranked?
No, they played Florida last week. Mm-hmm. They played that Florida last week.
Yeah. Okay. Now, upset alert because they're going in. So they play Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, play Arkansas. They play LSU. They play Missouri all back to back, and then in their season with the rivalry against Texas. You know what? If they can get past LSU. And if Jamel is right, if LSU gets beat this week, I think they quit on the season. And then might be able to get into a decent spot to where now it's just how does Texas feel? Because letting Texas beat OU and A&M is an ego trip that nobody wants. The SEC, they don't care about none of that. They beat rifles. And that's going to be something you're going to have to deal with because only having 2 losses with what we're expecting, most of these teams are probably going to end up with 2. Majority of teams going into college football players are going to end up with 2.
Right.
Don't let Texas back with a statement win against OU, and then if A&M, y'all don't want that. And I'm going to be here that thought. I'm very excited if y'all mess around and let Texas get there. All right, man. Got anything else y'all want to speak on for the college football CTE programs? Nah. Okay. Professional CTE. Raise your hand if your team won on prime time. You know what I'm saying? Raise your hand if your team won on prime time.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Oh,
There
man. Don't get me started about the cheating Chiefs, man.
You want we'll let you want to let the loser go first. You want to reign supreme as the
Wow.
winners. Because last I checked,
Wow.
our Monday night was great. Jamel, was your Monday night great? Because my Monday night
It
was
was amazing.
great.
Amazing.
It was amazing. You want to talk about Sunday first, or you want to talk about Monday first? How do you want to go?
It was a trash weekend
I
for
noticed
me.
I don't see no,
Just honestly.
I don't
The
see no
whole
Detroit
weekend, just throw it
across the
away.
chest. Hey, Abe was in Cali burning all his gloves. He didn't want nothing Michigan related. Anything that looked like a mitten, looked like a glove, he put a lighter to it. He threw away his Michael Jackson CDs just because he had a glove on, bro. He didn't want nothing to do with any part of the glove. You want to get your animosity towards the refs off? I'll let you go. The platform's yours.
Yeah, I mean,
How did they hold?
I've already had my moment with them before we even got on here. 0 calls in an entire game, and then Juju gets to just have his way, just being egregious on a hit from a blind side, which is, as we all know, bullshit. And then we have to suspend one of our players because he went up and told him how he felt about it. I like how Dan Campbell's handling things because obviously he has a standard set and he's not deviating from that regardless of the situation. So it is what it is. Good coaches have a standard. You meet it, you don't. As far as the referees go, though, I mean, at this point, just instead of black and white, just be red and white. Just do the red and white jerseys. Let us know what you need. Just let us be in the game until the last minute. Let them kick a field goal with the last shot. Like, let's just at least make it a game because this is just ridiculous, man.
I will admit I was not appreciative of them throwing a flag well after the play. You missed it. You missed it on the Jared Goff touchdown. You missed it.
Come on.
It is what
Come
it is.
on. We just looking up rules in the rule book from way back. Come on, man. Oh, on page 4,600. Like, come on, man.
Because I do get it. I get that it was a violation, but you miss it. So in those same moments, you don't go back and review a pass interference. You don't go back and review. Not the only because I think the only reason we're there is all touchdowns are under review. I would have to dive a little bit deeper to understand if that means you could throw a penalty on the touchdown review, because usually you're supposed to just be reviewing whether or not they cross, the plane. Right. I've never seen it to where they review and go like, nah, that's a penalty. Because how do you like I said, all the pass interferences you miss, all the holdings you miss.
Yeah, missed calls don't get
like,
reviewed and overturned. So how are you missing a call, but then you're turning back a touchdown? Meanwhile, I had Jared Goff in my starting quarterback this week, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I just got a touchdown with Jared Goff. He don't ever run it in the end zone. I'm about to get hella points. And then they do that mess and overturn it. I was hot.
Tough. There's a hold on their left tackle from the Chiefs damn near every play. There's a false start on the left tackle from the Chiefs damn near every play.
Hey, sir, I don't want to sound like one of those guys, but I believe in the rule of law. I believe in authority, and I agree with the referees. They call the game the best way they can. They're impartial as per the commissioner, and they're not plotting on anybody. In refs, I trust. IRT.
In refs, I trust, man. Look, we have to ask, since the black and white boosted the red, white, and yellow, are the Chiefs back, quote unquote?
Yes, they're back.
I'm not even a hater. I'm not even a hater of the Chiefs. Like, when they in the Super Bowl, they win. I'm like, whatever, they won. But like, this is crazy.
And they're getting their number one receiver back.
Yes,
Rasheed Rice. So
yes, and this is going to be the first time that they've had like their whole crew together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not with this right now. It affected me. So I was that dude that was like, it is what it is. But now that it's affected me and my team, now I'm up in arms with everybody else. This is bull. I can't co-sign this no more. Like, this is crazy. Do we want to see Pat be great? Sure. At what cost?
Look,
so
Kermit Mahomes might be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, right?
Because not only do I play football, but I date Miss Piggy.
No, but the Chiefs are turning into this generation's Patriots. It is so annoying now to see them. After the first two, I was like, all right, y'all good. Let someone else get some, all right? But no, they kept winning and winning, and now they're turning into the Patriots. And pretty soon we'll feel the same way about Patrick Mahomes as everyone outside New England felt about Tom Brady, you know?
Yep.
So congratulations on great success. I know Taylor Swift paid for a lot of it. You blame the refs, I blame Taylor Swift. But, you know, it is what it is. Go Bears.
Can we highlight? I know we were laughing at Juju, but did y'all see the way they smuggled Pat out of that melee? Like they took him as if he like he was a criminal.
Don't you even dare try to get into this mix. Yeah. Don't you dare.
If there was an opportunity, Lord knows you can't breathe on them during play. You can't touch the man. But if there was an opportunity to just get one sweet steal off on Pat when he wasn't looking, and they took him out like he had Secret Service, bro.
You see how they were trying to jump on Branch just because he ain't dap him up. Like, imagine if somebody would have actually put their hands on him. That'd have been a whole other conversation.
Because all right, man. First of all, let me add to what I was saying earlier. I don't have issues with you. I'm trying to go talk. But you know what else is going to add to my anger if I walk by? Come on, dog. Shake my hand, dog. Man move. Move, bro. Come on, big dog. Nah, man. Move. All right. Jamel, you want to go first? I think y'all's game was finished first. Actually, but addressing y'all playing the Redskins, because I will say I do kind of have concerns for the Jaden Daniels, and it's not him. He just came back from injury, but the Commanders that we saw last year, was it a rookie fluke? Is it on him? Is it the injuries, or did y'all just put belt to ass? Because y'all, you know.
Well, last year we handled Jaden Daniels fairly well, and his rookie year was better than this year. We lost on that. Oh my God. Anyway, this year almost came down the same way. But hey, sir, put your hands down, sir. I'm not feeding you. You're not Tiny Tim. Pizza. No, you may not have bread. All right, you're gonna get some facts, sir. So this year it was almost the exact same way. But my man's Michael Jackson glove, I guess, I don't know what happened. I'm just happy it happened. You know, Bears get the ball back and we can field goal. So I'm very pleased. I'm also happy to see us running the ball for a change. DeAndre Swift had over 100 yards. Yes, 7.7 yards a carry. You know, I don't know if it's just because the Commanders' defensive line is really old. I don't know, because, you know, they got a lot of old players. As a matter of fact, I think they're the oldest team in the league. So I don't know if that's it, but we ran all over them like we never ran before. And I'm happy to see them trying to get DJ Moore involved, because, I mean, to me, he's still a better receiver than Odunze, and I like Odunze, but DJ Moore should be getting that rock. Caleb Williams is still this year's Caleb Williams, sometimes last year's Caleb Williams, you know. So it's a roller coaster ride with him. But some of his passes look better than his nails. I don't know if you saw him. I like it, Caleb. I'll pay for your next nail job. You give me a Super Bowl. Say nail job.
Y'all heard it here first.
You heard it here first, man. Another person I cheated about the rest that he should have had that touchdown. He should have been able, in him going on his streak of having a touchdown per week, man. You got cheese. I won't lie to you. You got cheese out of that touchdown. The Bears won, but they would have came back to that play if they didn't win, talking about how they got taken out of their spot. Now, luckily, on the other hand, I'm going to tie this into eventually the rest of the NFC North. Falcons went in there and put their foot on Josh Allen's neck from top to bottom. Foot on their neck, man. Shout out to the Dirty Birds, man. The defense is finally locking in. We seeing the draft picks come in there doing what they need to do. We send it 4, maybe 5 a blitz every now and then, secondary lockdown, right? And then you see the offense come out there. Bijan, without bias, best player in the league. Best player in the league. I hear you. Best player in the league. Footwork, immaculate. Quick cuts, moving through. Algier, follow up. Giving them the business, man. We're letting Kyle Pitts finally help fantasy owners. Finally. Just get a catch, please. He left with 3, right? And Drake London is showing up. Like we're still a couple players away from having a full offense, but while the game was only 10 points at the end, it could have been a little bit more because Drake London did try to get that touchdown going into halftime, and it was a dominant performance. And so I say all that to say, the question we were posing in the group chat about these, first it started with the Eagles, back-to-back losses. Now we got the Bills, back-to-back losses. Do we have concerns, the same concerns for both teams? Because we could say it was a bad game, but they got dominated. That you lost to the Patriots. You come in here, you lose to the Falcons.
So
is it the
2
same
things real
concerns, or
quick.
are they separate?
So the first thing being, I got the recipe for success for Atlanta, right? So for you guys moving forward, put Kirk Cousins back in the game, right? And then that'll propel you along to where you guys need to be. I would say I wouldn't be so concerned about Buffalo because I don't see the internal problems with Buffalo that we see with the Eagles. Like the Eagles is like front page. It's in every interview that you see with the players. Like you can see the look on their faces. They're trying to tell you, help me. Like you can see all of that kind of in the responses. I'm not seeing that from Buffalo. I think they've had 2 bad games, but I think that they're still on the cusp of turning it back around. Coleman's got to get going every single game. He is their number 1 wide receiver. He's got to get going every single game. I know they've got other weapons. I know they got Palmer. I know they got, Shakira, like all those guys. They have weapons, but I think that this is just a roadblock. And then once they get back out there gunslinging like they normally do, they'll be fine.
I'm going to disagree with Abe. So when I look at Buffalo and I look at Philadelphia, outside of the quarterback position, Philadelphia is better than Buffalo at every position. Mm-hmm. At every position, outside of quarterback. Mm-hmm. Josh Allen, he's definitely better than Jalen Hurts.
I agree.
But they do have some internal strife, but it's the same internal strife they had last year, and they won a Super Bowl last year. It was the same complaints. It was A.J. Brown complaining about not getting the ball. So that's the same problems. Now, something they do have an issue with, they do have a first-year offensive coordinator. So that might be a bit of a problem, and him trying to get his scheme in. But other than that, I look at Buffalo, and I'm like, Josh Allen saves them a lot of games. He's good for about 6 or 7 wins himself. James Cook is a great running back, but like you said, Keon Coleman is their number 1. And if Keon Coleman is your number 1, you don't have a number 1.
Right.
So I really look at Buffalo. I'm like, man, they need a lot of pieces. They do. And again, I think they'll get probably about 10 wins because Josh Allen will get them by himself, 6 or 7 wins. But without the pieces around him, he's not going to do well in the playoffs. He's definitely not going to the Super Bowl.
Okay, so just a real quick question for you, Jamal. So if you think with the pieces that Buffalo has, does it not kind of remind you of how they do Pat? Like they go get Pat some scraps because they have like one good wide receiver. They go get some scraps because they have to kind of make the cap work. And then he goes out there and wins them 6 or 7 games in the season.
Pat had a name catching his balls. Pause. He had a name catching his passes. Kelsey. Pat had Kelsey, and before he had Kelsey, while he had Kelsey, at one point he had Tyreek Hill. So he has a pass catcher. Dalton Kincaid is not Kelsey,
right?
And I would argue that Coleman is not Hollywood Brown. I would argue that he's not Rashee Rice. So
I agree with he's not Rashee Rice, but to say he's not Hollywood Brown, come on now. The dude is he's a good wide receiver. What is Hollywood Brown doing that's like so outlandish that he just blows Coleman out the water?
I mean, it's their scheme. Well, Hollywood Coleman's bigger,
Yes.
that much, but Hollywood Brown, and you might say older. I say he's seasoned. He has more experience, but his hands are just as good, and he has a lot more speed.
Okay. I see Coleman as a deep ball threat.
I also have a counter to Jamel's piece of it. I think Buffalo is in a situation that has kind of been exposed last year and this year. They really don't have a running game. James Cook is there, but he's essentially become a pass receiving running back more than he has been like a standard running back. And when you are in a position where Josh Allen, like you're saying, is saving you, he's constantly gunslinging. Part of that is because of the fact you don't have a running game. You might have James Cook go up the middle every now and then, but you're watching him catch more wheel routes as a receiver than you see him in a single back formation running between the A or B gap. You see him coming out on the bubble screen. You see him running slants. Like he has a whole route tree on his arm versus it. Like it's coming down to the point where he's the opposite of Cordell Patterson. Now the Falcons turn Cordell from a tight end into essentially a running back. They're turning James Cook from a running back into a slot receiver over there. And I don't know if it's because of the line, the fear of just letting Josh Allen be a full-on passing QB. But they don't have a run game. They don't have a run game. So even when the Patriots picked up on it, it's like, okay, y'all are going to try to outpass us. We're sending a blitz after a blitz after a blitz. Same thing with the Falcons. Like when you have teams that are able to say, I can put my secondary in man coverage and be all right because we got to pressure you. We don't respect you coming up the middle, so we can send people. We're going to turn James Cook into a blocker. So now once you turn James Cook into a blocker, you're saying Keon Coleman isn't the number one. So if you don't got a number one, you got to hope for the best. We're sending the house repeatedly. And that's going to be an issue that I think that they run into as you go further into the season. It's probably also the same reason why I don't think they could get over that hump. You don't have the complete team to be able to do it. And Josh Allen can only take you so far because on the other side, their defense always ends the season with some type of injuries. So you need the run game to slow down the clock to make sure that they're not on the field as much as they are. And unfortunately, you do have a quarterback like Josh Allen that will go down and score with a quickness. And now it turns into I need 30 points from you versus if you get 17, we could be okay. 17 to 24, we're in the safe range. But all the problems that you're bringing up, including what I just said, I would have more concerns, significantly more concerns with the Bills than I do with the Eagles.
I think it's a fair point. Yeah.
Is New York a threat?
Ooh. Well, if you want to talk about CTE and not really caring about your body, they're a threat for sure. Scatterboo and them boys are doing pretty good over there, and the love fest between the quarterback and the head coach looks a little crazy. But yeah, I don't know about a threat. I think they're really exciting to watch because they're young and they're fun. But without Malik Neighbors there too, like I don't see that as a deep threat.
Yeah, Wendell Robinson does not a Malik Neighbors make.
No.
They'll get just off of excitement, the Caucasian connection. They'll win some games, but I mean, give them 4, maybe 5 more games, and that's a great season for them because they're already at what, 2 wins, 3 wins. So let's say they get 7 or 8 wins. That's a great season for them. How many?
You're thinking they only get 7 or 8?
At the end of the season, yeah. Because eventually, I'm not saying they're not talented. I'm just saying they're not as talented as some other players. So they're going to come across some teams that are just going to outskill them. They're going to come across some teams that are better schemed because Brian Daboll has been a disappointment as a head coach, honestly. Especially if I look at Daniel Jones and the success he's having now. But they're going to get out-schemed by some teams. And those guys, they're rookies. They're going to get lost from time to time. So 7 or 8 wins, especially for a Giants team, man, please. They've already doubled up the Jets with those 7 or 8 wins.
Jamel is basically saying that Linsanity is only going to last about 3 or 4 more games,
Yes.
and then after that, it's over.
Thank you for the NBA translation. I appreciate you, my brother.
I got you.
Because okay, they're a Russell Wilson doof play away from being 500.
Yeah.
Right?
I see it.
Which means you would have had a win over you would have had a win over the Cowboys, which we don't respect them here in realistic terms. It's like that's a good win to have, especially since they went to Dallas. Then you would have a win over the Eagles, and you have a win over a decent Chargers team. The wins that they have, and even the close game that they have, they weren't just being rolled over. They're competitive. They dominated the East. They were putting up numbers on the Cowboys. Didn't they put 40 on the Cowboys? They dominated the Chargers. And you're only giving them 7, 8? Woo.
Yes.
Woo.
Yes. I'm gonna write it down right now.
7, 8 wins. Hey, that's your prediction. Okay. So we were asked this by a friend in the chat. Shout out to you. Is it time to close the curtains on Justin Fields?
It gives me nothing but pleasure to say that one of those quarterbacks from that school has to get kicked out like the rest of them. But yeah, I think we've seen him go from Tomlin, who literally kind of revamped his career, but then soon as because he held it down until Russell Wilson came in, just to be honest. He held it down, and then Russell Wilson came in, and he said, "That's my quarterback, Justin, go kick rocks." If he's being tossed around like that, I don't really see it. I don't know if it's over for him, but I'd say he's got about one more good crack at this.
I'm conflicted because while he's an Ohio State alum, he's also a former Bear. He was our top pick.
Should be
So
proud
I'm
of that.
conflicted.
Sorry,
See,
that
elderly
was supposed
abuse.
to stay up here. It wasn't supposed to come out. You know what I mean? My bad.
Workplace violence. Workplace violence.
HR.
God, dude, he can't throw, man. Even though like Abe said, he had his career resurrected in Pittsburgh. He still ran the majority of the time. Like, I don't know what it is. He just never figured out how to be a quarterback. He's a poor man's Cordell Stewart,
Or
and
he's Terrell Pryor.
Yeah, and Terrell Pryor had to transition over to be wide receiver, so he might have to become a running back.
But I'll also ask you this: in what scenario in his career has he had a even semi-decent offensive line?
Pittsburgh.
Because remember, Aaron Rodgers was running for his life last year too in New York.
Right. Pittsburgh. Whenever he had the Pittsburgh line, he had a decent offensive line. His decision making wasn't always the greatest, but like I said, while he had that decent line, he had the best season that he's had, but it was cut short because soon as Russell came in, it was known from jump Russell was the guy. He said as soon as he becomes healthy, as soon as he's ready to go, he's going in the game. Tomlin did not veer from that at all. So even whenever Russell was kind of struggling at some point, he was still riding with him. So there's something to that. So I respect a coach like Tomlin. So the fact that he would sit there and look at Fields knowing what he's capable of and still ride with Russell, to me, says something about Fields. So I'm not saying he's done, he's trash, it's over. I'm just saying I hear your point about him not having the greatest offensive line, but we've seen other quarterbacks do more with less. And I'm not giving that excuse of just the offense, Joe Burrow didn't have the greatest offensive line, and he was out there slinging it sometimes too. So I'm just saying, you can get it done.
Wait. That's a tough comparison because Joe Burrow also had Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Justin Fields had who in Chicago? Even with your Bears fan, with your Bears fan on this, Jamel and I have talked about this all the time. Historically, as a franchise, you know what position Chicago's never cared about? Their quarterback. To this day, their best QB in history is Jay Cutler. To this day.
Ooh.
Rex
this
Grossman took us to a Super Bowl. I just want to throw that out there.
Off of defense, because Brian Urlacher existed. Right?
Jim McMahon won us a Super Bowl, by the way.
Because you had Walter Payton. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Right? I am historically read too. Right? So now, when you fast forward, they never cared. And even Caleb's on the run for his life. You go into Pittsburgh, he is winning. He did make questionable throws, yes. But when we're saying most QBs do more or less, what was Aaron Rodgers' record last year with the Jets? Would he get 2 more wins than what they have right now?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I mean, I don't think
he hasn't had enough consistency to be in a situation. Now, I don't think he's going to turn around and be the greatest of the greats. But I will say, shout out to Cam Newton. He could at least be a decent game manager, and that's what we saw under Mike Tomlin. He could get you because he went. Didn't he go undefeated? No, he lost 1 when he was starting for.
No, I think he was undefeated, wasn't he?
I think he won. Think he lost 1. I think he lost 1 towards the end, and then they put Russ in.
You had a winning record if you just had some competency.
Yeah.
Is that what he? Because it's not as if the Jets are giving you a great offensive line. You do have a stellar receiver over there in Garrett Wilson. Yes, you could have potential with Breece Hall, but Breece Hall's numbers ain't incredible this year either.
Right.
They're not giving him a lot of wiggle room. Is it completely him, or did he just really get the short end of the stick in his career? Like it just wasn't in the cards.
So I'm throwing out names when we're having a conversation because I'm talking about scenarios. I'm not directly comparing Justin Fields to Joe Burrow. But if I was to directly compare him,
I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. I'm just clarifying that side. So, but if I was to directly compare him to someone, I would think about someone like Baker Mayfield. Like Baker in the last couple of years didn't always have the greatest offensive line. He's got to go get it on his feet all the time. Now, not to say that Justin Fields isn't talented enough to go doing something like that, because I do believe he has the capability of doing that. I'm just saying at the same time, Baker Mayfield is putting that bad boy on the dot for his wide receivers. So there's a difference between, hey, I need you to go make a play, because he's had to do that his whole life because he's physical, he's athletic, and he knows how to move his feet, but also being able to have the vision to put the ball where he needs to be. I'm not exactly sure that he's at that level with those guys. That's all. I think with him being like a Terrell Pryor, moving positions, I think he could be a bad boy because he's athletic. He's tough. Like he takes a hit. He knows how to move around. Like I think he'd be a great addition to somebody's team that way. I hate taking people out of their positions they've been in their entire life. But like if it works out better, fam, move over. Like, you know what I'm saying? It should be that easy.
Fair. Okay. I'm kind of going through mediocrity in QB. So I'm giving you a range of questions. Are Tua and Kyler pretty much the same person?
Jamel, you got this one. Nope. I'm not falling for that one.
Oh man. At the end of the day, with their records and their stats, basically. You look at their size and everything, basically. Tua is a little bit more accurate. Kyler's more athletic. But
Abe, you don't seem to like that answer.
Why is that? It's not that I don't like the answer. It's sad that we have to talk about it like that, because you're talking about Tua, who is literally the head president of CTE, and then you've got Kyler, who's going to be very close to him in this conversation, if things keep going this way. It's sad that we have two talented brothers that we got to talk about like that, but what Jamel said is true. The production is there.
I watched the man get concussed from a snap. From a snap, sir.
Like, how do you defend that? How do you defend that? How do you say, oh, we'll see where have Mark Sanchez? Like, what are you supposed to say? Like, I just
Snap. And even for the talent that they're toting, because it's one of those things when they're good, when they're on, they can make some things happen. But the consistency does exist. And you have a Tyreek Hill, you have a Jalen Waddle, you have a Trey McBride, you have a Mark Anderson Jr. You even had a DeAndre Hopkins. What else could they be given? What else do they need? Injury prone frequently. You know, one can't focus without video games. The other one, I don't know, man. I didn't see Tua throw up more gang signs than Southside of Compton.
wow.
And it's all by accident.
Wow.
You know, something
All
else they
by
have in
accident.
common. Something else they have in common that's not completely their fault. Both of their head coaches are glorified coordinators. That's all
Yes.
they are. I think if they had an actual head coach, they would do pretty well. Despite their size, they would do pretty well with a real head coach.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah. Just looking at the comments Tua made the other day about his team and people showing up late, and you have a former teammate calling Tua a hypocrite, and now Tua's apologizing, and what's Mike McDaniel doing about this whole thing? Could you imagine something like this happening under Belichick or Bill Parcells?
No.
You know, even Sean McVay, who's this hot young coach, you know, Sean
No.
McVay's like 40 years old. He doesn't allow this kind of mess. So yeah, they're both operating under two glorified offensive coordinators.
What are you supposed to do when you watched your starting QB? Wait, what do the young kids say? Glaze Josh Allen just for the fun of it. For the fun of it. Wasn't even necessary. Dude didn't bend the knee, he bent both. Like what do you do for that?
Dang. Yo, pause.
What do you What do you
Hey,
do
yo.
for that,
Let's see
man?
where this is going. Unpause.
Yeah, no.
He called him a
specimen.
No. We don't go too far around here too often, but on those we
What you
gotta throw
mean?
out a
He
pause.
went too far.
Oh
He called
man, you said
specimen.
glaze. You said both knees. I mean, we gotta at some point we gotta.
Haley
Maybe he was talking
Stanfield
about
doesn't even
donuts.
praise Josh like this. Haley
Man.
Stanfield doesn't even praise Josh like this, bro.
Man,
What
I
in that
don't
moment?
like.
Again, let me go back to what I was saying. If I was
Okay.
an NFL, if I'm Mike McDaniels, you know who's not starting after you make them comments? Tua Tagoviloa. You cannot leave my team after you just pretty much said, "Yeah, man, he's a better man than me. He's a better thrower. He's a better everything." Like I just look up to my competition like this. You can't go out there and expect me to win football games. I'm going to the GM as a coach. Hey, get him away. Someone.
I can't believe he did that. I cannot believe that.
What do you want? All right. Now, before we transition to the NFL, I got another question. One last question, man. Are the Patriots and Panthers legit?
Patriots might be. Panthers, let's have a Linsanity moment. All right. I'm glad you guys are doing it. Let's have our little Linsanity moment. And then let's just get off of this. Bryce Young and them, I'm happy that they're winning a couple games. You know, I'm glad they just not like the laughing stock of the NFL or an easy W on the schedule. Show some respect, play hard, all that, but like let's not go too far with it too early.
You know,
too early.
They beat Atlanta 30-0. But every season you get that one weird game where you're like, how did that happen? One of the years when New England won the Super Bowl, Buffalo beat them 40-3. It's just one of those weird games you get in a season. So that was that weird game, and then they beat Dallas, who does not play defense. All right, so I don't think Carolina's going to go far again. If they get 5 wins, 5-6 wins, it's a good year for Dave Canellis, the head coach. it's progression for sure, but they're not going to do well. New England, on the other hand,
Them
Drake
boys look
May,
good. They look good.
dude, I didn't think Vrabel was this good a head coach in Tennessee, but I was wrong. Again, that's why I'm not a GM. Dude came in there. He brought back Josh McDaniels as the offensive coordinator. They're doing what they want to do, man. Like they figured it out. They have this two-headed running back, two-headed running back by commission. The rookie's really fast, really shifty, and then you have Ramon Stevenson, who's just a bulldozer. So I think New England, they're going to maintain. They're going to hit the playoffs, and Buffalo might be in trouble.
Now we back. Now we back. You were saying you weren't concerned.
Who, me?
You said you weren't concerned about Buffalo. No, I'm wrong. You did say they look worse than Eagles. You made it seem like you're not concerned because they have Josh Allen.
No, I just said Josh Allen's good for like 6 or 7 wins.
By himself. He's saying,
Okay.
regardless of what the team will get you, by himself, 6 or 7 at least.
Mm-hmm.
I knew England that's around to win that division, which would put an interesting scenario overall with the AFC standings on how things should into what would be our mid-season Super Bowl update predictions. I think any of us saw a potential. We're looking at maybe a shakeup in Buffalo, still to be determined. You know, he took 2 losses back to back, but no Bengals. Seems like the Ravens are cooked. The Chiefs have a losing record. Like I think they're what 3-3 now, so they've leveled it out. And it's not as if they have an easy road going ahead. Who y'all got and your updated Super Bowl predictions? What teams are we looking at?
For me, in the NFC, I think it comes down between Philadelphia. They've been there, done that. They're going to get things figured out. I think it comes down between them and Detroit. I like Detroit offensively, and low key, they're a good defensive team when they want to be. They're a good defensive team. And I think it's going to be Kansas City. I hate saying it, but God, they're New England. They're New England now, and it's annoying. So Detroit, Kansas City, maybe Philadelphia, Kansas City.
I'm thinking if
Okay.
I'm updating mine, it's still Detroit for more than just my love for them. I think that this has got to be the year we push it. I also think watching them play the Chiefs, all this other stuff, like that's going to give us a little chip on the shoulder for the rest of the season. I would love for us to play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl and win that.
So y'all are just saying that the Chiefs got it.
I
No
think the
fear,
Chiefs are going to have
Jason.
the help that they need to get there, per usual.
Where's that help coming from?
Yeah, who's helping the Chiefs? Is it the script writers? Is it the refs? Is it the album sales?
What they say,
Is it
the holy trinity of the NFL. That's what I'm thinking is going to help them get there, because that's what it seems like right now. So until things change, that's my prediction for right now.
okay. I'm going to switch it up. I have 2 upsets right now. I have Tampa Bay in the NFC.
I don't see that as
Because
an
I feel
upset,
like,
honestly.
yeah, I feel like they go in there and they've been able to call the Eagles number before, and Baker's just one of those, as I said the other week, is like they just are. They're the team that go and beat the Eagles because they're playing with house money. They're only playing up, and luckily for Baker, somehow he's landed this position in his career to where every win is not a surprise, but like, yeah, look at you go. They don't count him out necessarily because you don't have anything. You know what I'm saying? You don't have anything to lose, and it's such a mutually beneficial situation between Tampa and Baker Mayfield. They go hand in hand with each other. On the other side, I'm kind of scared of the Broncos. I'm kind of that defense that they've stacked over there. I'm interested to see what happens when they play the Chiefs, but the Broncos, hell, that whole division outside the Raiders, is Broncos and the Chargers are stepping in saying we're built to compete with the Chiefs, and they're healthier. We're gonna see how it looks when Rashee Rice gets back, but it's still one of those situations where it's like the Chiefs' running game isn't the running game that we were used to before Isaiah Pacheco got hurt last year. Travis Kelce is a little bit. Are they going to figure it out? I don't think so. Are they going to have potential help? To Abe's point, probably. But I think that help is going to be a key factor in having to eliminate somebody like the Broncos, because that defense that the Broncos has is nasty. Is nasty, right? I got the Broncos and Tampa Bay. That's where I'm at with it.
That would be a wild prediction, but I can see Tampa Bay having a hard time envisioning Denver in the Super Bowl right now. But I like your point.
Look, hey man, I will say Detroit, but the brother on the Keep It Clean podcast had something to say to you in the comments, man. I didn't see you address him. You know what I'm saying? Brother Ev was trying to get at you. You gonna respond to him before we the NFL, Abe?
What happened?
He said he wants you to prepare for the conversation as a Rams fan. How does it feel to know that it was golf the whole time?
Well, if I have anything to say to that is you're welcome for your Super Bowl because we gave you Stafford. So be grateful that we gave you guys a chance to do something because it wasn't happening before then. So that's what I would say to that.
So does that also go to the testament of golf isn't a winner?
I don't know, man. I think that with Campbell, we're in a better spot. I think not to knock Sean McVay because that's a great head coach, but I think Dan Campbell is what he needed in order to be motivated to be a better player. Sometimes the coach can't get it out of you. They don't have the mesh. They don't have the gel, whatever it is. I just don't think that it was the right environment for him, and I think the one he's in is better.
Fair enough. All right. So we're kicking it off. NBA season starts next week. Round 2 of If It Was You. How do you respond? NBA edition, right? Let me see. Hold on a quick second. Let me see if we got it. We got it? Yeah. There we go.
Oh, I saw this.
Yeah.
Incredible how he brought that ball back. Look at
if it's you getting yammed
Get
on.
him, bring that back. That raised the level of energy in this building.
Oh. What you saying in the group chat? You know it's you come back to the group chat, man. What you saying in the group chat? If it's you, how
I got dunked on.
Man,
I mean, I think the first thing you gotta say, see what happened was, my man's wasn't playing no defense, and I was covering two people. And in the NBA, when you're covering two people, that means you're in a really bad position. So if anything, y'all should be charging OPOY and not me. I don't know if you say anything to get yourself out of that position, because once they do that still shot of that photo, that's going up in somebody's house. That's on some kid's wall. That's in somebody's house. That's in a family member's shrine. Like this is outrageous. Like, look at that. This is outlandish. You can't show your face around the hood talking about, oh man, I'm in the NBA, yada yada yada. Yeah, they're gonna pull this up on their phone and show it to you. It's tough, man.
If it's you, how do you say face? It's on you, Jamel. What you got?
Hey man, I was using the bathroom. I turned around. He was right there. Both my hands was occupied. What could I do? I was stuck. I mean, what can you do, man? Like, you become Rambo. You just become a hermit. You buy a cabin in the middle of nowhere. You start making bombs. You call yourself the new Unabomber. You know, you get an NBC show. I mean, you can't go. You can't. You definitely can't go around family.
No.
You know, don't have siblings. Please don't have an uncle. Don't have multiple uncles. Like this will be plastered. It'll be their wallpaper. And every time you go in, it's like the Twilight Zone. It's rough. And then I know we shouldn't do it, but race will definitely be a part of it.
Yes.
I can't believe that white boy dunk on you like that.
Yes.
I mean, it'd be different if it was a brother. We could accept that. But you know white men can't jump. What you doing? Oh, yeah. It's
Could you imagine, Jamel, David, being in a barbershop and you walk in and like everybody saw that game last night and this is the still shot that's been on TikTok and Instagram and all the platforms like all day. You were on Sports Center top 10 last night. You was on this morning. Like, could you imagine walking into a barbershop and like Sports Center top 10 is on while you walk in and homeboy did one of these to you? Like, could you imagine what that would do? Like you got to stay.
Because
you got to delete the Instagrams, the socials. You got to delete them.
the first question, if it's me, I have to ask myself, first of all, why is my mouth open like this? Bro, like, because I don't know if I've ever contested a shot looking like this, bro. He looks like he's trying to roar in the first picture. And then the pride of the jungle let him know who he really was in the second frame of it. Now, I also know my family. I can't be in group chat with y'all. I know my brothers. Yeah. I know my friends. This is on a t-shirt. Next time y'all see this is on a t-shirt. I know y'all have this still framed for life. Every birthday that comes up for the rest of my life, whoever's birthday it is, it'll be Abe's birthday. You know what picture is on the cake? This right here. Every single year, bro. Hey, Jamel, happy retirement. And then a banner falls in the background of this. Remember when that happened? Remember when that happened to your boy? This. Hey, if this wasn't Summer League, because the craziest part, man, I tried looking this up. I was preparing for the pod, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't even find Duke's name. That's how bad. I can't even find my man's name. I know who dunked. Johnny Furphy dunked on him. I couldn't find Bull's name, bro. And I just wanted to figure out, man. Like, I hope you're doing well out there. I hope you lived it down, because this is egregious. This is egregious, man. So we gonna go ahead and go straight in to the NBA conversation. Jamel, you want to go ahead and start off, since that was your team getting yammed on something crazy? You a Bulls fan. What are we looking like? Do y'all want to start with championship contenders? Y'all want to start with early season predictions for MVP, MIP, all that? How you want to get in this bag?
You want to do early predictions, Abe?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So, NBA, I do have Oklahoma City coming out the West, obviously. They're a year wiser, but they're still a really young team. They're just as athletic. They have first-round picks they haven't even used yet. So, they're deep. They're going to be monsters for years, unfortunately. Out of the East, I am leaning heavily into New York. I just like what they're building there. They got Cat to think about defense at least, so that's a start. I think New York will make it. I think the NBA wants New York to make it. If it's not LA, it's got to be New York. So I think they want them to make it. And I think OKC wins back-to-back chips.
It's hard to argue with that after this past season. I will say dark horses, obviously we all thought like Houston was going to be a problem, but with Van Fleet out, I think that puts a big hole in your offensive scheme that you were kind of leaning on a lot last year to bail you out. Whenever they were having, shooting woes or trying to figure it out with Jalen Green, the person that bailed them out every time was Fred VanVleet. So with him being out and KD in, you feel like it could be a swap, but I feel like they're going to miss his presence on them open shots. The Knicks being a team in the East, I have to agree. I think it's either the Knicks or it's the Cavaliers, but every time I feel like the Cavaliers just fall on their face, and it doesn't prove through. With them adding Jordan Clarkson, with them kind of like expanding a little bit on the offensive side, I feel like they have what they need to get over the hump. OKC is just OKC still. They're still young. Like, how do you have such a good team and they're just still young? Like, normally in these situations, the team is like, oh, we've got to deplete the team. We've got to, get these veterans and get rid of these players because these contracts are going out the wazoo. They paid the top 3 guys buku bucks this offseason, and they still got to keep everybody. And then go into the draft. Like, how do they keep getting their hands in the cookie jar? Sam Presti definitely needs an award for being the trust the process person. I know that was like Philly's mantra, but like he literally trusted the process. He said, yeah, I'll take your old man. Just give me a first round pick so I can dump his salary and take him somewhere else. He did that for so many years, and people were just like, oh, he's a waste man. Like, whatever. Just throw him whatever you need and he'll take care of it. And he turned it into a championship team that will now be a championship contender for at least the next 5 years. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I will build off of what y'all said. I'm gonna say New York, but it's not necessarily because I believe in them. I just think with all the injuries that happened in the East, you got to take advantage of this window. Yep. There's no Jason Tatum in Boston, which heavily shakes it up. Tyrese Halliburton has gone down, heavily shaking things up. And so after those two, your best competition is Cleveland. And we just don't believe in you. You need more people. I'm not a big fan of Donovan Mitchell. Y'all have both heard me rant and rave about the fact, hey, big dog, you can't get past the second round. I don't care what it is that you try to excuse. In Utah, couldn't do it. You had talent. In Cleveland, can't do it. You have talent. You got to show me. Now, Donovan Mitchell is starting to become a poor man's Damian Lillard to me. So until I'm of the belief that they might have to. I don't think they trade him, but I think I would rather lean heavily with Darius Garland to keep Evan Mobley happy, and then you send Donovan Mitchell somewhere and maybe get some pieces back, because as of right now, it's New York's position to lose, in my opinion. On the other side, I just don't know what anyone could do with OKC. I do see some threats. Like, it'd be interesting, bro. Houston went and got a shooter, and that's kind of what they were missing. Because if not, they got the defense, they got the athleticism. They went and found somebody that could go get them a bucket when they need a bucket. You still have OKC. I see dark horses coming with we're gonna now see a healthy Wemby with some players around him. I still have OKC, right?
Did you see him dunk without jumping?
Dog,
jumping.
What? When you see that alley oop, it was so low, right above the rim. This man was just sitting there, like, what was that?
Bro,
my God.
Without jumping, you have a De'Aaron Fox, you have a Stephen Castle, you have 2 back-to-back rookies of the year, Stephen Castle. You still got pieces just like OKC to mess around and do something stupid. Mess around and do something stupid. I'll be honest with you. I was hoping, as a San Antonio fan, I was hoping that they would have landed KD, because I thought that would have been crazy. But I will get to this later. There's a team that keeps signing a bunch of bums, and now they added a second bum on a 2-way contract, which tells me they're just getting together as brothers, and Giannis is in the market. And hey, man, just go ahead and come down to San Antonio, bro. Like, we could, you know what I'm saying? You know who loves foreigners? The San Antonio Spurs. Love them a good foreigner to play for their basketball team. You know who's still there? The foreigner whisperer, Greg Popovich, right there, just chatting you up, letting you know. You talk more than Tim, and there's many HEBs in Texas. You could get all the commercials. all the commercials. But no, I do think it's OKC. I would say the only two competitors I see here would be either Houston and quiet as kept. A healthy Dallas kind of scares me. A healthy Dallas scares me, but I have OKC.
A healthy Dallas doesn't exist though. So
touche. You know, as a Pistons fan, how do you feel that y'all will do this year, Abe? When I met Abe, he was wearing a Chauncey Billups jersey.
That's a lie. That is such a lie. Yo, man. I don't.
He said he modeled his game after Tayshaun Prince.
Like, imagine we're in the NBA talks right now to start the season, and we're not talking about the Boston Celtics. I think that needs to be noted. That impact that Tatum is being out is going to be a big, big, big hole that they will not be able to fill until he gets back. This is also going to make that whole claim of like, is it Jalen's team? Is it Jason's team? That's going to kind of play true throughout the season, I think, in my opinion, of like, can Jalen handle this without Jason? I don't think they fall flat on their face. I just think that they are not going to have the success that they've had in the past. Detroit is definitely one of those younger teams that the coach has finally got it together with those guys. And I think that the right addition could shake them up really good. Like, you put a Donovan Mitchell over there or a guy who can go get a bucket, like, you might be in a situation where they could be a little scary. I still think like I said, he's not the savior, but I think if you give him somebody who can actually go get a bucket other than Malik shaking his ass out there, Beasley, like, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be a different situation, I think, because they're showing what they can do with the crumbs that they have.
How do y'all feel about Jason Tatum saying he wants to come back at the end of the season?
I think he's just hungry, man.
I think it's a bad idea, and that organization would not be smart to allow him to come back. Mm-hmm. Sometimes to save the athlete, you have to tell the athlete no. And there's always next year. He's still young. What is he, 26? So he's still a young guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, he can sit out a whole season and just rest. Because we've seen players come back too fast. Kevin Durant, when he was with Golden State, playing against Toronto, he came back too fast and ruptured his Achilles. So, mind you, Kevin Durant's a lot older, but
and it was the NBA Finals.
Mm-hmm. Just to save the player, you got to tell him no.
Yeah.
Do we have MVP predictions? Or do you want to go in reverse? You want to go defensive player, offensive player, most improved, then MVP?
Sure. Let's do it backwards.
Because I feel like, okay. Most improved.
That's a good one. I'm sorry. I wasn't even.
If Donovan Mitchell gets out of the second round, you're the most improved player to me. There you go. I'll make it easier. If you could get past the second round, Mr. Spider, lame ass name, the tarantula already existed. If you could get out of the second round, Donovan Mitchell would be the most improved player to me. I hate your Adidas. I hate your play. I could just go watch Dame. I'd rather watch Dame continuously rap and then supplement his NBA career than watch Donovan Mitchell waste another potential team. How many times has Donovan Mitchell finished his season as a top 4 team in his respective conference?
I don't know, a lot.
Pretty much his whole career.
Yeah.
Right. How many times has he got past the second round with a top 4 team in his respective conference? Oh, okay,
Twice.
Cool. So you're going to give me 45 empty points. No, he's never made it past the second round.
He's never done it?
That's the point. Never.
Really?
Never. You gave me 45, 50, 55, another 30 ball just to lose a game. A game?
If he gave that to you, is it his fault?
Yes. Because you're the star of the team.
Why is it his fault?
Yes. If we hold it, because if we hold every other star accountable, for their losses. Why does he not get the same blame? You're the best player on each team that you have been on. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have the COVID bubble ring that was given out. But you let your friend Gobert over there go touch all these mics and do whatever you did. You could have stopped that. You're the spider. Put him in a web. I don't know. But you lost again. You went back and forth. Was it him and Jamal? No, who did he go back and forth with when they were giving 50 balls back to back? Wasn't it in that
Jamal
bubble?
Murray? Yeah, Jamal Murray was going ham.
Yeah. You continuously give us 30, 40, 50-point games with nan defense, minimal assists, and you lose all the time. Most improved player, if he gets to the semifinals, Donovan Mitchell. That's where I'm at.
So if I can throw out two names, because I'm having a really hard time picking one, but I think it's either Amen Thompson or Cade Cunningham.
Ooh, break it down.
So obviously he's on a good team. It'll show forth what he can do when they need him to step up, especially with Van Fleet out. I think that this is going to be his breakout year for that reason, because they're going to need more production from him. So there's no real replacement for Van Fleet at this point in time. So I think they look to him to be that second option offensively.
Okay.
Cade Cunningham.
Jamel?
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, Cade?
Too.
Yeah, no, Cade.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, Cade Cunningham, I just think it's time. Like, we know what you can do. You got hurt. You've been rehabbed. You showed that you had potential last year. It's time now to, like, make the next jump because he needs to be in All-Stars. He needs to be in those conversations. So if we start with most improved player, I think we're on the right path.
Fair. Okay.
For me, it's Jaylen Brown. For me, who scares you on Boston outside of Jaylen Brown and Derek White? Nobody. They're going to be chucking up balls left and right. Without Jason Tatum out there, like you said earlier, he wants to prove he's the big dog.
Mm-hmm.
We really don't need Jason Tatum. There's a reason why I got the bigger contract. Oh, no, now you paid him more. I'm going to show you that I'm worth more than he is. His highest, the most he's averaged in the season is 26.6 points a game. For his career, he's 22.2. I think he's going to be in that 30-point range. I think he's really going to step up. Will Boston win a championship? Hell no. Can they end at 500, 42 wins, 42 losses? I think he can get him there. I think he can. But it'll just be him and Derek White. Sam Hauser, do we trust it in Hauser or Peyton Pritchard? No, not at all. In short bursts, yeah. But as a starter playing the whole game, coming in, no. Give me. I think it's going to be Jaylen Brown. All his numbers are going to go. His shooting percentage might go down, but all the other numbers will go up. Assists, rebounds, everything else is going to go up. And he's a two-way player.
Okay.
I'm not mad at that take.
Both ends.
Yeah.
Not mad at that.
Defensive player of the year. I'm gonna go with the obvious. Wemby's just right there. I don't until he went down last year with
he was gonna win that with flying colors. Yeah.
It was a lot, man. It was just who's competing for second place at this point. Bro. It's hard not to say him, man. He changes everything. He changes everything. Do we want to argue second place? Because y'all surprised me. I don't think it's a point.
I don't think it's a point. I don't think second place is even going to be close, to be honest with you. If he's anything like he was last year, I don't think second place is even close.
And
so
did you see him? He's bulked up. He's bigger.
Yeah.
He's not a stick figure anymore.
Yeah. No, I saw him take, I don't know what move it was, but he literally took a drop step dribble, turned around and just yammed it like he was Shaq. And I was just sitting there like, hang on a second. What happened? Because that would have been like he got bumped and then it would have been like a little toss up. Like he went into the contact and forced himself to make the bucket. And I was just like, oh no, that's different from last year. Like he's already turned that page. Like, wasn't he out for like a blood clot or something?
Yeah.
Like, what happened up here
Yeah.
where we're making that move? Okay, well,
You know what happened with the monks. You know what happened.
that's supposed to teach you peace. That ain't supposed to be out
Exactly.
here banging on
Yeah.
people like
He
that.
found peace. He found peace in knowing you can't do nothing about this. You can't do Nathan. Nathan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, that's
Offensive player of the year.
go ahead, Joel.
Shoot. Sorry, I was doing some research. I wasn't ready this time, but
You mean like scoring champ? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, sure. Scoring
Okay.
champ. OPOY.
what's the oh man, come on, Jamel. The brother in Toronto, or not Toronto, but Minnesota. What's his name?
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. Slowly, and mind you, not as good defensively as Jaylen Brown, but dude is a two-way player also.
Yeah.
But his scoring has gone up. His three-point attempts have gone up. And what's crazy is his three-point percentage has gone up.
Mhm.
I think he's a total package, dude. And if they were able to push, like right now, I do agree with you. Houston's probably the second best team in the West. I think Minnesota might be third.
Mhm.
You know, and I think they could fight for second, but they're probably third.
Yeah.
I really like him.
I think that's a great take. I think Anthony Edwards is hard to argue because of how much he does get the ball too.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm looking at the landscape of the league, I mean, Jalen Brunson comes to mind. Being an offensive player, I think he's one of those guys that puts up 28, 30 a game. And then if we're looking at a healthy team where the vets can actually be healthy throughout the year, don't let Steph sneak up on you because Steph gonna mess around and have a 30 ball a night type of situation too. So if they can stay healthy and they can find their way with Kuminga and the drama and all that other stuff, like that's another team where I just never count them out fully because you just give them a nod. They know how to get it done.
Don't forget the new rule change that a high five is now a foul, which is greatly beneficial to Steph.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now.
Greatly.
How many times have
beneficial
anybody's touched his hand on a follow through where he couldn't even like extend his hand all the way? Yeah, and he was still hit it, which is crazy. But I'm talking about no follow through and he's here with it and he still doesn't get the call. Yeah, anybody that gets anywhere near Steph is getting in trouble.
And it's funny because I look at that as a makeup rule for him. Because when you kind of watch the last couple of years, he doesn't really get the calls that he's supposed to get. Not even on some stardom. Like they are actually hitting him in a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not getting the same calls that you see a lot of other players get. Like the way that they call a foul for SGA is the same way that they hit Steph, but they're not giving them the same thing. So this is almost like, hey man, you on your way out, gotcha. Here, enjoy this. This might be the last hurrah, and here's how we're going down that path. I think that I'm with Mel. I'm going Anthony Edwards, man. I'm going Anthony Edwards. I think Ant went into the playoffs, and the postman that I think is the equivalent of Donovan Mitchell and Julius Randle is a lot of empty buckets. That's kind of the reason why I'm going off on Donovan Mitchell is the same way I see with Dame. I say the same thing with Julius Randle. You've been in a group chat with me. You've been in person with me, Jamel. I've been saying this. Empty stats. You're a false positive. You put up a lot of buckets, but it doesn't equate to wins necessarily. Ant picks up on that. And the competitor in him is like, yeah, I see you. But I when the game's on the line, I don't need you trying to do a spin move with your left hand between three people to turn it over. No, sir. They hated on him last year for his uptake in 3-point shots.
Mm-hmm.
But he was making them.
Mm-hmm.
He expanded his game. Now he kind of slowed down in the playoffs to try to get everybody involved. Nah, I think he coming with a vengeance. He coming with a vengeance, bro.
This move right here. That's all he gonna be doing.
Look, man, I think he's gonna be a danger a danger. Now, we're going to go into Rookie of the Year. Is it obvious or is it
I
not?
mean, this one of them ones where, like, last year, was it Castle, right? Was it last year or the year before?
Last year. Castle.
Last year. Okay. Castle
The year before
was
was
like,
Moody.
right, okay. So Castle last year when he came in was like not a part of the conversation, but made himself a part of the conversation. This almost feels like a Zion or a LeBron where like the league is going to do whatever it takes to make sure that Cooper Flag is on that stand. Not to say Cooper won't earn it because I think he's a great player, but I think this is one of those like agenda pushes where it's like, we need this for the league. It's Cooper Flag all the way. Like, get on in there.
I'm here to start a narrative. I am. I'm here to start the Cooper Flag versus Ace Bailey narrative. This is the NBA's Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it. I'm
Yeah.
here for it. I'm here to watch them anoint Cooper Flag, just like you said, give everything in their power to be like, look at you, you're helping the ratings, you're helping us get back of being the prominent faces of basketball because the Americans are in need right now of a face to represent them, especially compared to international pieces. And then you got what already seems to be the drama-filled side of Ace Bailey, whether it's his fault or not. Look, I don't want to go to Utah either, right? I know people are trying to hound you for that, but we've seen how Utah fans treat people. And hey, man, based on how they talk to Russ, based on what players have been saying, being up there, when you have a little bit of melanin, if they don't talk to you nice.
Yeah.
You got a questionable manager that I believe you fired, but
He
one of
did.
the greatest memes and gifts.
That's
of
why
the
I made
summer.
this move right here.
No, this is
Trying to show off the Rolls
whatever
Royce.
that was. You feel me, man? So between those two, because I know Dylan Harper exists, but I feel like Dylan Harper is gonna probably take a back seat just because of the media darlings that Ace and Cooper have been.
Right.
I'm here for the
Not to
narrative.
mention having Victor Wembanyama on your team, De'Aaron Fox,
Yep.
like you got,
Yep. You might have to figure out your role because Castle starting, De'Aaron starting. So you're coming off the bench. Cooper and Ace are starting in their respective squads.
Yes.
Period. Just off of that alone, like you have a long way to go. And unfortunately, but fortunately for Dylan Harper, you got drafted to a franchise that's historic for development. They're going to go at their pace, which might hinder that process. You might be better going down the line, but nope. We got Angel and Caitlin and Cooper and Ace, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it, man. What you got, Jamal?
You know, typically you draft a rookie because you want to help your team out. Your team sucks, you get a high pick. It builds your team up pretty quick. I look at the different levels that they're at. Utah, Bailey, they're at the bottom.
Yeah.
San Antonio, Dillard, they're ascending. And Cooper Flag in Dallas, they're already there. They're already there. Unless he's a major contributor, and he's a reason why they make it to like the NBA Finals. I think just based off his team around him, and because Dillard won't get much playing time because of his team, based off his team around him, I think Ace Bailey has the best chance of winning the Rookie of the Year. He's going to have a lot of those empty stats playing in Utah. Utah sucks. They're not a good team, and I like some of the pieces they have. Filipkowski. Oh my God, I can't think of the center, the big white dude. I can't think of his name.
Kessler,
yes. So they're building a nice defensive team.
And then Laurie, right? Laurie Markkinen is out there too.
He's still there. I think they're going to trade him eventually.
They need to.
Mean, you have a 7-foot small forward in Markkinen, a 7-foot power forward in Filipkowski, and another 7-foot center. Like your front line is massive, and you still have Colin Sexton coming off the bench. Like they're a big team. They're actually a decent looking team. They're just not going to be good because they don't know how to play yet. But Ace Bailey is going to get his playing time, and he's going to put up some stats. Cooper Flag, that's not Cooper Flag's team. That's Kyrie's team. And if Kyrie's not there, then it's Anthony Davis' team. You know, it's not his. Even if he's not there, it's Klay Thompson's team. So I don't think Cooper
Okay,
Flag's going to put
okay,
up.
okay. Relax.
Hey,
You had me in the first half.
gentlemen.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Gentlemen, I'm letting you
yeah.
know he's not going to put up those
You
type
had me
of
in the
stats.
first half.
Nah,
You know what?
we're not going
I
that
think y'all
far.
being ageist again. I think you're being ageist. You're younger
HR.
than me, so you're picking on me. Cooper Flag is younger, so you're picking on Thompson.
I just think, well, what the Mavericks just showed you the other night when they literally put him at like point guard, I think they're showing you that we will do any and everything it takes to put Cooper Flag in the position to be successful and the face of this franchise. So I think I hear your point. I just believe that they will do whatever it takes and it's going to show for it.
Nico Robinson is trying to save his career, is
For
what
sure.
Abe just said. In
For
the
sure.
most beautiful scenic route possible, Nico Robinson is trying to save his career. Hey,
Yes.
I messed up, but I got lucky with a number 1 draft pick. And you know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna watch him change his number to 76, just because, just because Nico told him to do it, bro. Look, the only other thing that changes it, because you're right, in the basketball sense, it is in fact Kyrie's team, and even though they won't give him the credit for that, realistically, it's probably Anthony Davis then Kyrie. Somewhere, Klay Thompson is doing some juju to get whatever Megan Thee Stallion has in her knees to transfer over to his knees. So he could get some of that bounce back. you doing something like that to get all the CLs to just uplift their spirits into them old things that he has going on. But the way that they're going to make sure that the cameras are on Cooper, it's going to be egregious. It's going to be past basketball, because
Glaze is going to be
know,
crazy.
man, and it's like one of those, our homie in the group chat trying to, have we seen somebody this solid and all well-rounded come out into the league since, like, no, shut up. He's cool. He's cool.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I would counter that as like, man, how many successful Duke players have we seen since he's all that? How many successful Duke players in totality? What's the overall turnout for those that went to Duke? And it's not taken away from the fact that he's a defensive player and as well as an offensive capability. Until proven otherwise, you're Andre Karolinko with a better burner.
Oof.
Until proven otherwise, you're AK-47, and that's no disrespect. That's no disrespect to, because Andre will go get you a bucket if you needed to.
Yeah, he had a great career.
And he was a great defender. I think you're a plus 2.0 model of AK-47 as of right now.
I think he's a more athletic Christian Laettner.
God.
Oh,
yeah.
He's putting up the same numbers as Laettner.
Ooh.
Laettner got a chip.
Ooh. Name drop.
More athletic Christian Laettner.
Oh, yeah,
this is why we love Jamel, because you can give us the references that Christian. What a name drop, bro! I haven't heard of him since I.
Yeah, he talking about the ageism thing, but he's breaking it up on his own. So
back in my day,
I haven't heard that name since I watched a documentary on the Dream Team. Because why were you there? Why were you there?
Just to hold
Isaiah,
the water bottle.
You feel me? Don't be mad at Jordan, Isaiah. Go figure out why Christian Laettner was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone knew Shaq should have been there. Everybody knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So spinning off the Cooper Flag situation, I got 2 topics that we're going to close out with. First one being, as we see the farewell tour get started with both LeBron and possibly Steph, do we have a megastar after they leave? And I want to preface this with saying, to me, I believe there's all-stars, means like you're great at your craft, obviously. You might make the all-star game, whatever. Superstar, that you excel, you probably are marketable, and you're great at your craft, obviously. And then megastar is they know you're a basketball player, but they know you. Like, Steph. People know LeBron. Whether you heavy in the basketball or not, you know who they are. KD at one point was Verge in that talk. When they leave, and that's coming soon, it might be this season, they're going to try to figure out a way to pass that baton to somebody. Does the league currently have a megastar that could take that baton?
I think
And
so.
if so, who? Go for it.
I think so. Anthony Edwards.
Who you got? Fair play.
That's a household
play.
name. That's a household name. That's a kid with attitude who doesn't care about what you think. That's going to do it how he needs to do it. You're talking about some of the greats that came before him had the same type of persona. Some kind of played it by the book a little better, like LeBron. You know, you could say he definitely played it by the book better. But as far as like the persona, the shoe sales, the what you call it, the top 10 plays every night, having the ability to bring his team and wheel his team in, all that, I think Anthony Edwards would be the next guy you'd want to pass it to. The league was trying its hardest, its damnedest, to give it to Ja Morant, and Ja kept fumbling that bad boy like Derrick Henry in the last couple of games. But it was one of those things where he had the kid's ears, like the whole nine. He had it, and then he just fumbled it. I think Anthony Edwards is your guy. And I think internationally, you still have Luka, you still have Greek, you still have Jokic. Like you have, even though Jokic isn't like crazy marketable, you still have those names where people pay attention to the league that will still draw the attention that you would need in order to keep revenue as it is.
So I have three. The first one is Anthony Edwards. I agree with Abe. I think the thing that people most like about him, same thing with Ja Morant, same thing with Allen Iverson. Dude's real, you know, and that's going to be his downfall. He's a little too real, all right? Because my man said, yo, that's my nigga a couple times on TV, so he's a little too real, all right? So I don't think the NBA wants him to be the face. SGA would be it, because, I mean, he's the best player on the best team, all right? He just won a championship. It would make sense, but SGA is Canadian. And I know what you're thinking. What's that, a boot, eh? No one cares about poutine. That's why. All right, we care about poutine. But SGA, we got to push him to the side. All right. So the obvious choice is Wemby. All right, it's Wemby. Dude is charismatic. He's got the nice shoe. He's in the commercials, you know. And here's the thing: he appeals to everyone. He appeals to your overseas crowd. You know, it's Victor Wembanyama. And the French, you know, because he's a French national, he appeals to them, but he appeals to the brothers too, because he's still a brother, you know? So he's pretty much into the same thing. He's going to give him a big white girl and settle down. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Wemby. Wemby, he's going to check all the boxes. Watch. Face of the league.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. So, not the big white girl in France. That's okay. I only have three. I think it's Ant, which is a give me just because he carries himself. Easily marketable. I think he also has that corner pocket of being able to go against the grain of typically having the Nike athlete and being the biggest star that Adidas has had in a minute. James Harden's there, but James Harden didn't go market himself with the voice the way that Anthony Edwards has been able to do. The closest thing that you have on him is just the scandals. And it's hard to even say scandals, just the way he's handled some pieces off the court. Cool. For the American side, I think it's a hard fall off after that. Because Ja Morant was being set up to be this generation's Iverson. And then we realized you're not real like Iverson. Matter of fact, you're almost the complete opposite of Iverson. And you had it too. Like you are very fraudulent, Iverson. If you just would have been yourself without having to do the extra pieces, because it's okay. We watched you have the same hair growth. You came in the league with a fro. You started locking it up, braiding it, whatever. Iverson did that. Crossover, smaller frame, go up there, go get it. Iverson did that. Arms just started appearing with tattoos. You were keeping up with Jordan Clarkson. Iverson did that. Iverson also shoots for real. You know? And now, even with him, because I was explaining it, I was trying to have this conversation. I was like, he was already on the superstar piece because the gritty dance was him, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson. They were doing it everywhere. You made it a TikTok thing. You surpassed just the basketball piece. And unfortunately, you fumbled the bag in an era where David Stern doesn't exist. They gave you two opportunities. Two. Luka would have sent you on a 50-game suspension streak, and here you go fighting a high schooler. You do. I hate that for you. Now, on the other side, on the international piece, I think it's Luka and I think it's Wemby. The reason why I don't have Greek there is, bro, no one likes your voice. I'm sorry. You don't have a marketable voice. You don't. And your game's not sexy either.
He's got to get out of
Like
Milwaukee.
anybody, but even getting out of Milwaukee, you can see people wanting to model their game after Ant. You can see people wanting to model their game after Luka. Like that's another part as far as being a megastar. If you can't brand yourself in a particular way, you have to have game. And so on that superstar verge status, if Devin Booker would just speak a little bit more and how pure his game is, he could be there. He could be there, but he doesn't talk much. So if you had even half the vocalness that you see with Ant, Luka is just Luka's Luka, right? And then the same reason why it's hard to market Giannis is, on the other hand, with Jokic, he cares about his horses, bro.
Jokic want to get out of here so quick.
That's it, man. Look, he cares about it. That's all he cares about. Is like, look, man, they're alive long enough, and then he's already planning how they're going to turn into glue at some point, and he's going to cry about it. He's going to cry because they're going to be in the bottle of Elmer's very soon, and he's going to start this process over. I fully believe that we're going to see a major surge in marketing forced with Cooper and the Ace Baileys because there is a gap. Jason Tatum did not fill that role, and they tried. They tried everything to make it happen, and you just couldn't do it. The
He won a chip and still didn't get loved like that.
None.
He won a whole chip.
You weren't even the main player for the chip. You let Jaylen Brown come in and kind of, take your thunder. They tried, again, we said Ja Morant. They tried to, maybe Zion can flip the script this year. Maybe. Maybe, but every star that they've had recently just didn't make the cut.
Yeah,
I think we're potentially seeing, in the first time in a while, not a dry spell, but an open market.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of nervous about that for the NBA, for the rise that they had, and I think especially after last season, the complaints that they had on it not being no defense, constant 3-point shots. Who's going to be out here to be the face of it? And then you saw them locked down in the playoffs. Because even for your SGA point, he don't really say much. He don't really say much. Right. Like his shoes that came out, if you're in the fashion sense, like he does it for Abe, you know this too. For even being a basketball shoe chaser, it's comfortable. He has a comfortable pair of kicks. They're stylish. But are they being marketed on TV the same way that the AE2s are with Anthony Edwards?
No.
They're showing Anthony Edwards commercials during football games. I haven't seen nothing. Right. Unfortunately, SGA is like, you got the bag, you're signed to Converse. When people think of Converse, they think of Chucks. And then ... Crazy. You see them new Nikes. There you go. Right. So we're seeing an open market. I think it's Luka. I think it's Wemby. And I think it's Ant, and I think we're going to see a heavy American push. Heavy American push. Man. Now, last topic I got for y'all. Has gambling gone too far? We done spent this whole pod talking about multiple sports, and now the NBA is here, and I can't turn on my TV. I got the World Series on in the background right now. As we've been podding, I counted eight DraftKings commercials. 8 of the things, right? That's not including Underdog. We're not including Prize Picks. We're not including FanDuel. Hey, ESPN has gambling as a ticker on the bottom at this point. You don't even want to talk about the Porter brothers, Rozier. You don't want to talk about we're at the point. Has gambling gone too far?
Yes. To the point where players are getting in trouble because they're gambling on their own games. And they're doing it under the suspicion of someone else's account or whatever. Michael Porter Jr., Michael told you in the group chat, we could, his brother, the whole situation, he's been on a tangent with these pods and just saying whatever is coming to his mind. Someone needs to take a mic from him. But
stop talking, bro.
Just that's it. Just it's not that hard, but I feel like it's gotten to the point now to where we're seeing the investigations become more thorough. We're seeing that they're actually pressing people on these topics. Yeah, it's gotten out of hand, but that's gambling. It's always been out of hand. So it's not like it's not been a problem before.
Yeah, Pete Rose, arguably the greatest hitter in MLB history, was banned from baseball, for
life.
the rest of his natural life. Yeah. And back then it had to be sneaky. Now you can just download an app on your phone and you can gamble. It has gotten out of hand, especially when it comes to athletes, because while we'd like to think that they have integrity, I'm pretty sure if they could win themselves or their family some money, they might take a play off. They might fall down. Or if someone finds out that you were gambling and the league, for whatever reason, lets you play, people aren't going to trust you. They're not going to trust you. Like, the ball hit him right in the hands. How did he drop it? Everything's going to be in question. Yeah, and as someone who won a little sum in DraftKings coming in first place,
a little parlay.
It's one of those where you choose the players. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
First place, baby.
There you go. All right.
Yeah. But I don't think
won some didn't even know how he won.
He say that money's in my account, baby. That's all.
He just said, "I got the money, bro." He didn't even know how he won. I got the.
I'm not gonna say I was or was not on something, but that night was big. It was a haze. All I know is, like you said, I woke up with money in my account and I was happy. But yeah, I think when it comes to athletes, you're gonna see more and more athletes get in trouble or accused of something, like Michael Beasley was. And Terry Rozier was, and eventually it's going to be a big name player, and then people will pay attention for sure.
Right. I mean, think about it. We used to, in the barbershop talk, we say people are shaving points all the time. We literally say like, "Oh man, he got some bills to pay," or whatever, and like that's like a running joke. But now the running joke is becoming a reality of like, "Oh, they actually are doing that." Oh, well then, like you said, once a big name gets attached to that, that's when they'll care. They don't care right now. Michael Porter Jr.'s brother, Michael Beasley, like or Malik Beasley, they don't care about these guys.
I forgot about Malik.
He brought up Terry Rozier. Malik Beasley was the other one. Yeah.
I forgot about Malik. Because I don't think they would
out there doing all that and just blowing the game.
Come on, man. You just drop the ball with the game on the line. You just investigate. Immediately. I'm trying to think because it would be devastating if you get a big name player. It would. It would. Because I'm looking at it, it was already a shakeup. We saw what was it, Big Baby Davis and all them go down for tax fraud. For how they're going about it.
And the names wasn't big enough.
You feel me? Hey man, what is it, Marcus or Markeith? Whichever of the Morris brothers is over here bouncing checks in Vegas, and you know what I'm saying. And it's like
he got off on that.
It's that type of stuff. He did.
Yeah.
But the fact that your name even came up in that situation,
I know.
Now we're walking down the path of how can I not bet on myself?
Yeah.
Right. Because it's so tempting. And it's bad enough because these players are playing fantasy sports themselves. They may not do basketball because that's a lot to keep up with as you travel. But you're this close to gambling. You're right here. Hey dog, I got you. You feel me? Putting 10 tonight. I'm just step to the side. You go get the bucket.
They're the ultimate competitors. They want to win at everything. And now you put it in the palm of their hand, and I mean, in some cases, they might try harder. Like, I'm going to score over 30. I don't know what they're talking about, over under 25, and they bet on themselves. That's what Pete Rose said. He said he bet on his team to win. That's what he said. So I'm sure if someone else get caught, they say the same thing.
Can you imagine Jordan in the gambling era?
Yes. Yes. Nigga, you made $5 billion. What do you mean you broke? DraftKings.
Can you imagine? Like, Jordan would be in a 12-step program if he had all these apps.
You know the terrible part about it? was because he was so good. He would do something like, "I'm feeling good tonight. I'm going for 45," and he'd bet it all, and he'd mess around and just get a gang of money off of it, bro. That would be
Jordan would
his
be on
downfall.
camera.
He'd be
You feel
looking,
look,
yeah.
Jordan be on
I'm
camera
sure.
walking by the front row talking about, "Hey, put 50 on me."
Yeah.
Put 50 on me.
Put the
20 in the
mortgage
first
on
half
me.
just for you.
I'm sure y'all have heard the rumor that he didn't retire because his dad died. He retired because of his gambling, and the NBA actually suspended him.
Right.
So that's why he retired. That's what the
Right.
rumor is.
Right. Well, they
Man,
addressed
they
that in the
got the rumor
documentary.
now they got a rumor now that he lost his ownership in Charlotte because he sold his ownership to pay a gambling debt. That's a rumor right now as we speak. He's no longer a partial owner of the Charlotte Hornets because gambling.
Okay, the man got
Jordan in
paid
this league
$3
would be so
billion
fun.
for that sale. So whatever gambling debt that he had, I'm sure was minuscule and nothing compared to the payout. But I mean, the man is literally Jordan Brand. Like, this dude ain't broke.
Hey man, he not broke, but if you owe $3 billion,
He ain't owe nobody no $3 billion, dog. Come on, now.
man, he was paid a gambling debt. I don't know if it's true. This is all alleged. Let me be clear. This is all alleged. I can't speak on
I'm
this
just saying. I
as
hear
fact.
what you're saying. I'm just saying. I feel like fact and fiction, we're moving a little too far away because my man,
He
$3
is a
billion is
billionaire.
crazy. I
He's worth
understand.
He is a
3.8
billionaire.
billion.
I
That's what he's
understand.
worth. 3.8.
I understand.
And we'll get it back in Jordan says this year. This year.
Listen, I would just bet Jordan that I get all the new releases. Just keep my name on the list. That's the only thing I need to bet because everything else is like crazy.
Hey man, hey Jordan, I'll be your bookie if you can get me all of Ray Allen's PEs during his career. I want the Ray Allen PEs and whatever you did for Usher. All his PE Jordans.
Usher is
And I'd be
undeserving
cool.
of those. I'm sorry.
He is, bro. He is. But you were the icon of the 90s, man. He's sliding across the floor in some all gold Jordan 4s. Yeah, man. Eminem is also undeserving. He is. I'm sorry. You don't deserve no type of cause, Jordan 4s, none of that. But
Yeah.
bro, is the gambling does the gambling piece take away from the feeling that it's genuinely sports to y'all?
No.
It does start to
It's
make
not
it feel
that
like
big.
it's still more scripted. It's okay. Jamel?
No, I agree with Abe. Not at all. I don't think right now gambling that. I don't think it's a big deal by the number of players who do it. Is it a big deal? Yeah, because of the potential for cheating, but because of the minuscule numbers of players that do it, or at least the ones that get caught, it's I don't think it's scripted or anything like that. I think that the players still, the vast majority, give their 100%.
I don't disagree. I do believe that we're starting to head down that route with what ESPN has been doing with absorbing networks and pulling everybody under them, having the ABC deal between them buying out the NFL network, between you have ESPN and ABC. You're getting a lot of college games. You got the NBA finals. You're getting the at some point, I'm sure they're going to try to pull the Super Bowl. You get the MLB. You're getting a lot of things that fall under these particular markets, right? That's just for viewership. And this is the same ESPN that has a ticker for a gambling service going right across the bottom. You get an update on the games. You get an update on the over-under. I think it's starting to get to that point of them constantly reminding us it's a sport, but it's listed as an entertainment business.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only going to be so long to where it's like it's going to be difficult to try to predict otherwise. But as of right now, I do agree. Now, y'all got anything else y'all want to wrap the pod with, man?
Blue Jays beat the Mariners 13-4.
Kick their ass. Dodgers are putting belt to ass as well on Milwaukee too. Milwaukee's trying, but yeah, unfortunately, it's just not your day. It's just not your day, man. I think you were here when we predicted it. Who did you have for the World Series? Who was your prediction? Do you remember?
I think it's the Dodgers and the Yankees. I think.
I know I said the Dodgers. I can't remember if I said the Phillies or not. We were wrong on the other half. The Dodgers were just a lock pick. But yeah, man, if there's nothing else, we have had another episode of Keep It Clean Sports. We got the boys here. Next week, they're going to be in better spirits because Michigan's going to win, right? Right?
Go Blue.
If the refs don't cheat us.
Oh, my goodness. Y'all don't even sound confident, man. That's how we end in the pod, man.
Hey, man, go
Falcons.
Blue.
Go Falcons, bro. Oh, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Find us at the Keep It Clean Show. We got pods dropping Tuesdays and Thursdays. We are double dipping on y'all weekly. Clips coming crazy. Hatred for all the sports talk that we have going on here. Find us on Instagram. Find us on YouTube. Find us on Twitter. Find us on TikTok at the Keep It Clean Show. We love y'all, appreciate y'all, and we out.